Hello guys, it's Vers from SmartSpin team, and today I want to talk about the approach to your exclusive challenges on Stars, because many of you often have some misunderstandings about it, or how should should we chase more than one, when, and in general, how to maximize your EV from the challenges. And this is what I'm going to talk about. And the important thing is what's written here, that more games is not more EV in the long run very often. Of course, not always, but very, very often. So let's go. First, some basic information about challenges. So as you know, at the beginning of the month, everyone is getting some personalized challenge. And the important thing at the beginning is to count how much games do you need to achieve the goal. Because if you, for example, play 90% of the challenge, your rakeback will be 0% rather than 40. So it's pretty important to make sure you are able to finish it. So as in this example, it's my current challenge on Stars. It's like getting 10,000 points to get $800. So if we play 50s, as you can see on this example, we pay 6% rake per every game, which is $3. And $3 every game gives us 15 points each game. So it's easy calculation. 10,000 points divided by 15. It's 667 games to finish the challenge on 50s for me in this particular example. So as you can see, the calculations are pretty easy. Sometimes in this challenge here, you will have 10%, so it would be 40k games to get $800 rewards. And in this case, it's not that obvious if we want to go for the challenge, and I will be talking about it a bit more later. But here, for example, for a kind of part-time player as I am, this challenge is quite perfect for me. And yeah, I'm currently not going to make it twice to increase it, because it works for me just fine, and I can easily, without any effort, complete it. All right. So what are the traps within the challenge? You often want to make more than once, and it's not always great idea. First of all, you lose the possibility to make any game selection, because if you make more than one, it often means that you have to play like 3k games or 4k games or whatever. So if you have 5 days left to finish the challenge and you have all the tables are free reg games, you still have to play them just to make sure you're not getting 0% rakeback. And if you play only one challenge, so for example 1.5k games, you can easily just skip the worst hours when there are only wrecks at the tables. There are no, players from countries that we want to see, like Canada, for example, or Denmark or Belgium or any other rich countries in general. So in this case, you can just, for example, learn during the time that the games are very weak, and or do anything else, because I'm sure that every one of you have different things to do in your life, and playing poker is just part of it. So yeah, the as a natural consequence, there's no rest time. You have to play all the time your C or D game, and you will often find yourself in a spot that you don't really feel like playing, but you have the challenge, so you have to. And then very often the EV that you will make, the negative EV you will make within those games, the rakeback won't compensate it. So it's a trap. You're going into the circle of very bad consequences. And after all, you're not achieving what you wanted from the beginning of the month, and the rakeback could only cover your losses, or sometimes even don't do that. So it's another very important thing to take into account when trying to go for more challenges. And most importantly, if you make a challenge twice, there's a very high probability that your challenge will be bigger next month. Of course, the algorithm from Stars is not known like widely public. It's only our assumptions and the experience that we got from our players and from ourselves as well of how and when the challenge increases. But if you are on the edge with the results on your current stakes, and you might get, for example, move down in stakes, then after your challenge increase and you move down in stakes, you will be no longer uh, it will be no longer available for you to finish any challenge. So your account will start to be kind of useless, other than playing lower stakes with good ROI, pre-rake back on the stakes that you've comfortably have beaten in the past. So it's definitely not the way we want to go. We want to go really slowly, step by step, and only chase second challenge if you have very small one. You can easily do it in a week or two. I will be talking a bit about it later in the slides. So it's connected with the next point, which is high risk regarding incoming months. So if you have, for example, possibility to finish the challenge 6 months in a row, and compare it to slightly bigger winnings in a current month, for example, but being unable to finish the challenge the next 3 out of 6 months, for example, the month right now is actually EV minus in the long run, even if you are earning more right now. So there is high risk involved there. So again, cautiously pick your second challenges. And obviously, I've met with this situation so many times with you guys when we were talking on Discord that you started the challenge later because you were tired from chasing the challenge than the month before. Then starting later, you need to start chasing again because your challenge is so high. You play tired, you play CD game, and it's again and again the same story, month and month again, which will cause a lot of burnouts as well. Because let's be honest, playing 3 or 4K games a month on regulars is very demanding for our mind, concentration, and generally, mental stamina. So those chasing rakebacks so hard, is often just resulting in spots that we don't really want to be in. Like, we either play 200 hours this month or we don't earn. And if we decide to play 80 hours a month and then next month 80 hours, etc., then it's like good balance. Then it's probably good earnings as well. Then we have time to improve our game. Like, there's a lot of pros for this solution. So this is like a simple simulation. Of course, it's very, very simplified because you cannot assume that playing 2 times less games you will make same kind of EV, but more or less it's what is happening, that if you play more, your game is worse. Like, often you play more tables and you're not taking enough spots and enough adjust that you could if you play less. So counting it for 25 games an hour in this particular scenario, if you play 1.5k games, you will make 1.2k EV plus rakeback. It's of course just an example. And you have 60 hours more to your life and to grind, for example, lower stakes without rakeback and with good ROI, or learning, or improving your game. Like there's so much to do other than trying to chase the rakeback and the last few days of the month playing only with Rex all the time, and ending up with highly negative EV. So yeah, take it in mind as well, because I definitely prefer to play 1.5 and have the same amount of earnings, or having the possibility to earn stably and good in the long run, rather than earning a bit more this month and then being unable to finish the challenge. Uh, so yep. So the general approach, I talked about everything a bit within the previous slides, but in general, let's go through it quite quickly. So at the beginning of the month, count precisely what are your plans. Make sure to start strong from the beginning of the month. This is crucial. Like this is what one of our founders taught me a few years back. Kill you if you play. Best regards. That if you're taking your journey seriously, first day of the month, you should always be playing. Like it has so many good pros for your mindset as well, that you already started, that you know that there's whole month ahead, so many days, you are over the expectations of the number of games after 1 or 2 days. So you could definitely expect to find me at the tables first or second day of the month every month. It's just a simple rule that whenever I have possibility, I'm at home, I do it, and it works pretty well. If you're able to make a challenge on lower stakes, seriously consider it. If you make 0% ROI on 50s pre-rakeback, for example, so you're only earning from rakeback, and make 2% on 25s, and you are going to make one challenge anyway, so the rakeback will be the same, and additionally to that you will have earnings from EV from 25s, and also the games would be easier for you because it will be the limit that you know that you've beat, and there are so many pros. Of course, I'm not saying we should stay at mid stakes forever for life, but unless your results aren't like very good and at certain level, then I don't see a reason in current circumstances in the poker rooms and with the challenges and with the rakeback pros everywhere to be very passionate about playing high stakes possible, etc. I would rather try to maximize my EV from my current situation, and it's very individual, but it's important to think about it for yourself. All right, what's else here? Yeah, if you have 10% challenge, because there are plenty of guys also that have 10% rather than 40, and for example, you need to make very high volume to achieve it. It's very often better to give it up. Don't chase this 10%. 10% rakeback is not that much comparing to your EV in general, and just play lower stakes and earn pre-rakeback, earn from chests, and yeah, just do that, and it will very often be more profitable. So if you boost your challenge too high by playing two challenges in a month that you have more time suddenly, and then your challenge rises, and then you move down in stakes, or just are unable to find that much time to finish one challenge, then it's actually on you. And it's gonna be because you didn't take all those things into consideration. Your career is not 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months journey. It's usually a few years, sometimes more than that, like 10, 15. Sometimes all life is your poker career. So is it really worth to chase and exceed your possibilities for 1 month and bearing the possibilities that are incoming in the next months? Mm, so yeah, take all of that into consideration, and when it's the best time to make more than one challenge. So consider it only when on stakes you've already beat. You can easily make 1.5x challenge. So if you play $100, then check if it's possible for you to make 1.5x challenge on 50s. And if it's true, then it's probably a good idea to try to make it bigger and finish it twice. It's also not 100% sure that your challenge will be bigger next month if you make it twice. So yeah, then it's a good idea to do that. And also there are useful tools, which is our workflow tab. You can find it in our spreadsheet as a smart swing player. If you feel it this E2 cell with monthly volume goal. There is a whole calendar below that you can check it in your spreadsheets that will suggest how should you plan your volume, and there's also plenty of other stuff there helping you with your routine and in general better planning your grind. So yeah, there's also an article wrote when the challenges started with comments from Danilin and Fakey that is about chasing rakeback. Is it a blessing or a trap? So I also will link this one in the description of this video that you can check it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that it's gonna be pretty useful for a lot of you to understand what is our best EV when it comes to challenges overall. And of course, it's very personalized. It's gonna be different for each one of you, depending on your private life as well. But all of those factors that I mentioned in this video, are there to be taken into account. So good luck at the tables, guys, and see you next time. Cheers.